Yes, India buys discounted crude oil from Russia, refines it, and then sells the processed products to European countries, hence, sidestepping European sanctions against Russia. Towards the end of last year, European nations completely sanctioned Russia by banning the use of Russian oil. This means that Europe will not buy oil from Russia. And recently, India has become one of the top buyers of Russian oil. By getting access to cheap Russian oil, Indian refineries have been able to produce more and make bigger profits. This has allowed them to sell refined oil products to Europe. And thanks to the sanctions, Russian crude oil has been capped at $60 per barrel, making it a profitable business for India. Before the sanction, Indian refiners rarely bought Russian oil because of high transport costs. According to the report, India typically exported an average of 154,000 barrels per day of diesel and jet fuel to Europe before Russia invaded Ukraine. However, that has increased to 200,000 barrels per day after Europe completely banned Russian oil product imports. Moreover, India's oil imports from Russia have surpassed the combined imports from Iraq and Saudi Arabia. Currently, Russia is providing over one-third of India's total oil imports. India sold 14.8 million tons of oil products to these countries, representing a 2.4% increase from the prior year in volume terms, but a 48% rise in value terms. The significant rise in value is due to the rise in oil product prices, which provides higher profits for refineries exporting refined products. In fact, besides India, other countries, which are called laundromat countries, such as UAE, China, and Singapore, also buy crude oil from Russia, refine it, and then resell it somewhere. In response to the matter, India's External Affairs Minister Jaishankar suggested that he should examine the regulations of the EU Council. He said, "Look at EU Council regulations. Russian crude is substantially transformed in the third country and not treated as Russian anymore. I would urge you to look at Council's regulation." In other words, Jaishankar was saying that the refined oil sold to European nations was not Russian crude and thus, cannot be considered as oil from Russia. It is like saying you buy tomatoes from your neighbor, and then proceed to make tomato soup and sell the soup to your friends. Your friends will credit you and recognize you as the one who makes the soup, not your neighbor. So, what do you think? Do you think India's buying Russian crude oil, refining it, and then selling it to Europe is a loophole? Or do you agree with Jaishankar that the oil sold to Europe cannot be counted as Russian anymore? Leave your comment and tell us what you think.